In a written reply by the MHA, the government has said that there is no proposal to inquire into the spying on Netaji. The government is also silent on the declassification of these files. Let's not forget the government had made a panel, in fact an interministerial committee headed by the cabinet secretary, to look at the possibility of the declassification of all files related to the death and the disappearance of Netaji. And Anuj Thar, remember, who's written vastly about this subject, is with us on the phone line. Anuj, how really are you responding to this reply by the government when they say that there is no probe that they will order into the spying on Netaji, and when they are asked about declassification, they are completely silent?
Well, I'm not surprised. Actually, to be very frank, I filed an RD application quite some time back, asking the IB to, give me certain documents which I've asked for. So they are stonewalling my request, which has now gone to the IB. So I personally am not at all surprised. I think the government is not going to do anything about this case. They're also not going to declassify unless until pressure is mounted on them. What they're going to do is, when there is some pressure, they will release some chicken feet, some little material from here and there, and put out in public domain. So we must all in one voice, should ask for comprehensive and complete declassification, starting with the IB and raw files.
So, Anuj, are you essentially saying that the attitude that the UPA had perhaps is no different from what the ND and the present government is also adopting, because they are doing very much the same, stonewalling all these requests and remaining completely silent when it comes to the major issue of declassification?
There is no change in government policy with the change in government. So I see no change ever since this new government has taken charge. They have been repeating almost more or less the same line. There's only cosmetic changes here and there. I'm not surprised. I've been holding this view from the day one. The only difference that we have with this government, the last one, this government can be pressurized, because the BJP does have its own audience. The people, the voters who would not. This will not go down with them. The BJP president, Mr. Rajnath Singh, had himself gone to Netaji's birthplace, in 2014 January, promised that when his party is in power, they'll settle this case. Mr. Modi had met the Netaji's family, and he had, of course, in private talks, said that I would do something. So now for them to do this volte-face, do a somersault of sorts, I don't think this go down well with the BJP, the people itself, and I think RSS will not take it very kindly. They have a nationalist image, and I've been saying from day one, BJP's own nationalist credentials are going to take a major hit if they don't, act upon the promise.
And Anuj, it's not just that, but a very significant meeting happened between Prime Minister Modi in Berlin with the grandnephew of Bose, Surya Kumar Bose. What really happened then? If the government has no intention, why perhaps were they doing all those meetings? You believe that was just a PR exercise?
I think that is more of a courtesy call. I think it's a result of the enormous media pressure that was being mounted, and government had to do something, one thing or the other, to ensure that this pressure goes off. So I believe both the announcement, the gesture of the PM that he actually met Netaji's grandnephew, Mr. Surya Bose, and also that they had some discussion. There's some leak in the media. There's going to be some sort of a committee. I never believe in these kind of things. There's no requirement for any committee here. Actually, the PM has to take a decision. There are files in his office. He just has to take a decision whether they can be made public or not. So I think they are just buying time or delaying, or probably I do not know what is on their mind. But it's very clear to me that at the moment the government is not doing anything, and the only public pressure can make them work.
Okay, Anuj, I request you to please stay on with us. We also have Mr. Hartendu Bose, the grandnephew of Mr. Subhash Chandra Bose, with us on the phone line. Mr. Bose, are you shocked, you're surprised, or you're really disappointed with this reply of the government when they say that they are not doing any probe in the issue of spying of Subhash Chandra Bose? Neither are they saying anything specific about declassification of the file, sir.
First of all, let me correct you by saying I'm the nephew. I'm not the grandnephew. I'm the nephew of Subhash Chandra Bose. And secondly, as far as this comes, probing into this snooping of against the family members, I guess it's a decision for the government to take, whether they want to go into it or not. And as far as the declassifying of files are concerned, we are very keen that they should declassify the files. And I don't think a large number of files have been declassified, unless they can tell us which ones have been declassified. I think only a few have been declassified. A large number of files remain to be declassified. Okay?
And Mr. Bose, on the larger question of spying of the Bose's family, do you believe that really warrants a probe? You believe the government should intervene and change their stance, sir?
Yeah, I think they should. Yes, because this what they did wasn't really a good thing to do. So I think they should look into it 100%.
But sir, with this kind of a reply now coming in by the MHA, where they say that there is no proposal to inquire into the spying and they are silent on declassification of files, do you feel let down, sir? Because the previous governments did not do anything about this. They only stonewalled a lot of information. But we believe that you actually had a lot of expectations from the present regime under Mr. Modi.
Well, if the previous government did nothing about declassifying, and if the same stand is going to be taken by the present government, obviously we're very, very disappointed, and we would appeal to the present Prime Minister and the government that they should declassify the files, or start the process of declassifying the files.
And Mr. Arendu Bose, how do you look at this reply? Why should there be this big U-turn by a government which said that we are all for transparency? They were hitting out at the UPA for earlier not putting out these requests, not listening to the family, but they are doing very much the same.
I'm unable to comment on that. Can I? Because this news has come new to me, so I'm sorry, I'm unable to comment on that at this point of time.
All right, Mr. Arendu Bose, the nephew of Netaji. For the moment, sir, many thanks for speaking to us. So the family still believes that there should be a probe into the spying reports which have come out, though the government says that they will not inquire into the Netaji spying incident. Also, they believe that all the files related to Netaji should be declassified, though the family, they're not willing to comment on what could be the reasons of this possible U-turn by the government today, because in a written reply by the MHA, the government today has said that there is no proposal to inquire into the spying on Netaji. Also, the government completely silent when it comes to the declassification of the files.